Left, your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it.
Truck it on.
Doctors, roll out. You're watching or listening to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. We the people, the People's Patriot Project.
Looking for a place to put your skill set, your thoughts, and ideas, or want to help continue the mission? You have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we are the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want you to be a part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. Here's the WeP3 Team bringing you today's best heroes hits in the boots on the ground organizations that are saving lives. And as always, Patriot Pride.
Left, your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it.
Truck it on.
Hello and welcome to the People's Patriot Project. This is Andrea Eichmann here, and I'm bringing you with all of our friends on the screen in a minute, our weekly show / podcast called We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. Every week we bring you a guest. Many times we have a new musician, and we share all the good news and sometimes not so good things that are happening all over our world. Tonight, because we always mention Bobby and Peggy Kretzinger and the Operation Texas Strong group because they are so strong and amazing, but it's Bobby's birthday. So right off the bat, I'd like to say happy birthday to you, Bobby. And check out Operation Texas Strong, you guys. They have some amazing things happening, and they just keep rolling with it. Today is April 23rd, 2023. We do have some amazing guests tonight. We have got Jeremy Harrell with Veterans Club, Inc. He is here to share his mission and then all the exciting things he's doing and planning. And we also have Sam Steadman with us to share his music and let us know what he's got going on these days. Before we do get started with this week's show, we do ask that you take off your hat, stand and cover your hearts if you can, and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation, under God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Boom. Here we are. Another day. Get this all situated the way I like it. And we are here for we got your 6th Patriot Playtime. We got your 6th Patriot Playtime, for Pete's sakes. And look at this amazing panel we have tonight here. So excited to have these guys. Jeremy Harrell is one of those guys. You don't stop, I can tell. The list goes on and on and on and on. It's like I know the feeling, and I don't know. You must have an amazing support team out there that helps you get the things done you're getting done. And we'll get into that here in a little bit. And then we have Sam Steadman. He's been busy all day long. He's been working on a fundraiser for his nonprofit. I'm hoping to hear about that as well. And his amazing sultry, you're going to love his music. You're going to love his music. Another veteran that is out there just kind of kicking it in the teeth when it comes to all this. And it's exciting to see, watch, and hear. And so, yeah, we'll talk about WeP3 Radio and what's going on with that. One of Andrea's friends, probably. So, Jonathan, would you mind sharing with us what's happened in the news this week?
Not at all. Like, do I have a choice? Not at all. So April, we've been covering it. April is the month of the military child, and is used to recognize the unique challenges in military families and the challenges that the children face. Long separations from family, frequent moves. It honors their sacrifice to the military community, and it's an opportunity to recognize military children and youth for their heroism, character, their courage, sacrifice, and continued resilience. The month of April is also Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and it's the goal of Sexual Assault Awareness Month to raise awareness about sexual violence and to educate communities on how to prevent these things from happening. Today, April 23rd, is the Army Reserve birthday. Army Reserve turns 114 years old. Army Reserve provides trained men to support leaders of the world at times of battle, as well as support civil authorities in the U.S. They have played an important role in nearly every major war since their inception. Today, there are nearly 190,000 soldiers in the Army Reserve. April 30th is National Military Brats Day. We celebrate kids of the armed forces. The military brat changes schools on an average 6 times in their life. Their lives may be more difficult than most, but these constant disruptions in their childhood often bring them closer to their families for life. The term brat, which was kind of interesting to learn this, the term brat stands for British Regiment Attached Traveler, and it was assigned to families who were able to travel abroad with a soldier. The term ended up sticking and is now used with reference to military children. And I believe Miss Andrea was going to share something as well.
Yeah, I believe Mark shared this last week as well. Yesterday, Saturday, was, and this is a Minnesota close to home thing for us, but it was the funeral of Deputy Josh Owen of Pope County, Minnesota. Hundreds. Okay, I looked this up. The population of this Glenwood town is, I think I came up with 2,447, and 4,560 some people were at this funeral yesterday to pay respects to him. He died on April 15th, which was also the day he came into the world 44 years ago. and he had been shot while responding to a domestic violence. Yes, domestic violence. I apologize. We had so many things going on. A domestic violence call. One by one. Okay. Oh, and he actually also was National Guard, and he deployed overseas twice to Bosnia and Iraq. And the funeral, parts of it was televised in. He was the go-to guy, I guess, for everything. Just showed such honor and bravery and support, and always looking out for the next person. So one by one, fellow law enforcement filed into, it's called the Minnewaska High School Gymnasium to say farewell to Owen. They draped a flag over his casket while his son and wife stood nearby. That was a very somber afternoon.
Jim Anthony, another musician that has come into our network as recently, was actually at the event yesterday as well, and was sharing his perspective on that today on the live. And we thank Jim Anthony for his effort and his mission in life and the music he's putting out there, and just kind of he's doing a lot for the People's Patriot Project about getting us out and networking that. And then also, again, it's not just about Minnesota, but we mention and say the names as much as we can, when we can, how we can. And we lost another first responder law enforcement officer here in Minnesota, Gary Schroeder, this last week. And so we want to make sure we're lifting that family up. Remember the families, the children and the spouses and the significant others, the parents. They didn't necessarily sign up for the mission. They are there. They're with them. They support them when they come home and are carrying the extra loads. And our hearts are broken because of the loss for not only the police force there, the family, and their communities. So this needs to be a place and a space where we shut this down, have conversations, create outlets, make sure that our brothers and sisters know that there is a place to have a conversation, and we will carry the weight with you, whatever that weight is, brothers and sisters. You have to. We'll get into some buddy checks here in a minute, but our hearts go out to those families today and tonight, and it doesn't fix any of it, for the record. And so, and again, if anyone ever had someone that you would like us to memorialize on the show, make sure you send that message. We do need to say their names and lift up those heroes that are putting their lives on the line, so we get to lay our big fat heads on the pillows of freedom every single day, not worrying what is coming in our back door or who's coming across our borders at any border. I've had some very dynamic conversations about this lately, and it doesn't make me want to rest on it. It makes me want to get more active. It makes me want to get a louder voice. And all these amazing conversations are happening on a new, we'll call it a chat line. It is a Facebook page platform within our group. It's called the WeP3 Buzz. And the conversations that are happening in there have been absolutely spectacular. And I wake up every morning. Jonathan made the quote today as we were kind of doing a little debrief about what we're doing. And he goes, I wake up and there's 20, 40 messages in there of people looking for support. And the great piece is WeP3 doesn't have to always be there, because there's people in there that are giving support, and it's built relationships already. And we're excited about it, and we'll continue to do that. So let's get to our amazing guests. So we break this down into 3 phases, and we'll give both of you a chance. It's usually broken up by 3 songs that Mr. Steadman didn't exactly provide for us, so I went and I stole all of them. And so either he likes them or he doesn't like them. He hasn't said no yet, so we'll find out at the end. But so the 3 phases are: who are you? What's your mission? And then we do a song, and then we get into another session of what's the big focus of what you want to get done. And then the last segment is what's in the future. And then if you guys are both available, at the end of the show, we shut her down and we have what we call a collaborative conversation about how we can work together and how we can continue to build the network. And I just have to raise up Eric Oleg, which I don't have time, but he's down in Texas running the Chad Foundation in his son's name, Chad Oleg Schlager, who, great story. It's not a great story. It's a sad story, but a great mission. And his father's carrying on the legacy of making sure veterans have opportunities without the gigantic cocktails of meds that are being given to our soldiers, aka via the programs that exist. I'm not going to earmark or tag a certain organization, or we know where it lies in the biggest piece, but the VA is not the only organization that's over medicating our soldiers. So, Jeremy, tell us about
how you doing?
What you're doing, what the mission is.
Well, man, so for the last 6 years, we've been grinding hard trying to create really good, unique alternative programs in an effort to reduce and mitigate veteran suicide, to help vets, first responders, and their families. We are an organization that serves the whole family, so the families are always invited to everything we do, kind of help them overcome trauma related to combat or just life in general, and just really create easier transitions from the military to the civilian world. And we're really just filling in gaps from other organizations who kind of miss the common sense approach to things. We have a lot of recreational activities. We have vocational training. We do equine therapy. We have a women warrior program. We do Veterans Club assistance program where we help with immediate needs, homeless outreach. We have about 8 nationally recognized programs. We're getting ready to drop one at the end of this month called the Resilient Mind. And what we wanted to do with that program is, I think we are very, very effective at helping veterans overcome challenges that they faced through their service. But we just didn't want to hang our hat right there, right? We wanted to help take them to the finish line, so to speak, right? So after these veterans are with us for quite some time, they can get into this program, and we say, what is it that you wanted to do before all the stuff got in the way, right? What was your dream as a child to accomplish, or what is it that you wanted to do as an adult, or you wanted to do after service that you hadn't been able to do because you just been dealing with garbage. And so essentially they'll say things like, well, really, I just want to be a better dad or a better mom, or I want to own a business, or, I want to get my doctorate degree, whatever it is. We have subject matter experts on the council. We developed a 12-week curriculum. It's self-guided except for the last day of the week. And we teach them these skills and help them get and achieve what they wanted to achieve before stuff got in the way. So that's our newest program. The caveat to that program, though, that makes it extra challenging from a mental tough standpoint is we also simultaneously included the 75 Hard program that Andy Frizella created. I don't know if you're familiar with that. So yeah, man. So a lot of people think it's a fitness challenge. And while, there are some benefits to that, it's really all about the mind, because I think that's what holds us back. I know that's what's held me back for a long time after my service was just, the doubt, the fear, the insecurity, the people telling me I was broken, the people telling me I could never do this again, or I could never do that again. And man, in reality, I think for a few people, maybe that is the case, right? But I think for the majority, there is an opportunity for them to do something more than what they're being told they can't do. And so we're just trying to do that. We're just trying to empower vets and their families. We're just trying to give them opportunities, create opportunities for them to thrive, for them to overcome these challenges. And we're doing it intentionally. We're doing it one vet at a time. We're like a big family of 7,000 veterans. That's who we know we serve directly in our area. But of course, we reach across the United States. And so it's just, I've had my head down, man, for the last 6 months as a guy who struggled with all that, for a decade, and didn't really have anybody come alongside me, and really help me navigate, PTSD and things like that. And I just felt like once I get on the other side of this, and what I mean by that is able to manage it, I'm going to do my damnedest to make sure that veterans don't have to suffer 10 years without anybody hearing them and helping them. And so that's kind of been the inspiration and the premise behind everything we've done so far.
I absolutely love it. And I can see there's a huge parallel between your organization, Veterans Club, and our organization, the People's Patriot Project, only in the fact that you're not specializing in anything. And
No.
we had marketing people come to us and say, why are you getting into a saturated field? Well, here's the reason why. There's 17 to 75, it seems like our branded number is 22. 17 to 75 veterans and first responders committed suicide a day. So it's not saturated enough, if you ask me.
Right.
Second of all, we call it a tackle box, and each of us have a different niche, even though we're opening up opportunities. I love the fact that you're our boots on the ground aggressive. We have a lot of organizations that say they're doing something and they're a referral organization. And I'm telling you right now, anyone that's listening to this, if you're referring people, you're not getting the job done, because sometimes they don't even have the stuff in them to make that next phone call, not to mention the however many follow-up phone calls after that. When our veterans are calling us, they're in crisis right now, and they want an answer. And the answer doesn't have to fix their problem. The answer needs to be, is someone with me during this time? And the answer is 100% yes. We are with you. Jeremy and Veterans Club is with you.
Absolutely.
And again, we don't try to showcase the People's Patriot Project during this time because we want to make sure you get your message out. I love Andy Frizella and the Real AF. That's amazing branding to be able to say Real AF because I work with kids and you can say Real AF and they don't get in trouble. The cool thing is, when I was in the fire department, I used to have Bethel Fire Department on the back of my shirt. It would say BFD, which is kind of a cool thing too. But I have to brag a little bit. This isn't about me, but I did the 75 strong almost 2 years ago. Lost 30 pounds. Kind of cool. I did, and it's not a diet. I keep telling people this is not a diet. It's about mental toughness. What are you willing to do to go to the next level? I did it again, and I did it for 100 days just because I wanted to do bigger and better than the time. And I didn't lose squat. And I don't know if it was because my heart wasn't in it or I wasn't making the real sacrifices. I started my own again this year, and since January, I'm down 77 pounds just because of my focus, just because I say I'm going to fight this. I've had friends that want to have an amazing bourbon that I would love to have. And I say, you know what? Not until my goal of 100. And I've actually started over twice on this one because one night I ate past 7 o'clock, and that's not part of the 75 strong, but it was for me. So I said, you know what? I'm starting over because I ate after 7 o'clock. I cut out all fried food, all fast food, all alcohol. I'm doing the reading. I'm doing the workouts. Not as much. I just had knee surgery, blah, blah, blah. We don't need to get into it. But find a partner, find a friend. This is part of the holistic process. Take them on their journey with you, and living a healthier lifestyle will fix the noggin, the gray matter, the stuff in between. And it also gives you stuff to talk about like this.
Hey, Mark, I just want to backpedal on a point you made, man, when you were talking about like the marketing folks told you that, why would you want to get in a saturated market? I always think it's interesting because people said the same thing to us, and now those folks kind of call us and ask for consultation. But the reality is we're not dealing with selling spandex, right? We're dealing with people's souls here, man. We're dealing with people's livelihoods. I don't think you can ever have too many people working to take care of one another. I think it's, I think sometimes, there's a separation. There's that fine line between the actual business aspect. And, we know, and Sam may be able to attest to this, that there is a business aspect to nonprofit for sure. but there's also an opportunity there to kind of stand out and focus on the problem at hand. But no, man, it's 70 hard is a challenging thing. And you're right, Mark, it is about the mental toughness. And of course, the side effect is, if you're like me, I lost 26 pounds, right? So when I did it at the beginning of the year, and I really don't have a discipline issue. I mean, I've been doing what I've been doing for 6 years, and you know, have sacrificed a lot really in the way of doing fun, you know, like vacations and things like that. So I don't. But what was cool about it was how it really puts everything in perspective, right? And one of the things that kept me going, just like a good NCO, right? I would never ask someone to do something I wasn't willing to do myself, right? So I didn't want to start this program and have veterans join and struggle and go, well, you don't know, man, because you didn't do it. They can't do that now, right? And so, but it also gave me insight on what part of that process where it gets hard, like around day 30, you're ready to just kick it out the window. Like, you know, you're just kind of tired of it and just kind of fighting through that and all that good stuff, man. But the reality is, as an organization, we call ourselves a Poke-A-Vet program, right? I think we have Poke-A-Vet and we have Hug-A-Vet. And I'm all about hugging vets, man, but we're going to poke you first, right? Like we're going to love you in a tough way, but it's only because we want to see you thrive, right? We want to see you overcome to the best of your abilities, whatever that looks like for each individual. For some, man, maybe they get over PTSD and they move on, and for some, maybe they just can't because, you know, everybody's experience is different, and that's cool too. But if you're just doing one more thing today than you have been doing in the past, that's a win, right? We got to celebrate the victories. But yeah, I like what you said about with the marketing, man. I've been told 100 times at least about, well, this won't work, this won't work, this won't. You know, or you know what? Since we work with horses, some people say, you know, do you have clinicians there to help? And I say, well, only if we ask them to. But predominantly, it's all about peer support. Nobody knows vets like we know vets. I don't care how much school you have, and I ain't trying to disrespect anybody out there who has a doctorate. By all means, that's an awesome thing in psychology or any of that. But the reality is, our problems are unique and specific. And I think a combination of both of them are great. But in reality, man, we've got mental health professionals and providers who come out and do staff retreats at our place. So I think that's kind of a good validation that, you know, you handle things different in our community than you would in the civilian sector. And, you know.
So I can tell you what works, and I'm watching and I'm hearing, first of all, boots on the ground. It's essential.
Sure.
It's not a brick and mortar. There may be a building somewhere, and I don't know all the details, but there may be a building somewhere. But the reality is you're standing amongst the people that want to have the conversations, that need to have a physical presence, the poke. Now, depending on what, and this is me making a joke, you got to be careful what brand you say that to, because poke means something different for, no, I'm totally messing around. But Jonathan was in the Navy, just so you know.
Okay. Got it.
I'm totally joking. So the other piece is that it's essential to build the relationships. Yeah. It's essential to be hands-on. It's a pillar of what we believe in, and we've got people from coast to coast, from border to border, and we're excited about it. And I'm excited to build this network with you. Now, we're in a predicament here, and I want to share it already because look how fast the first 30 minutes went away, and we're one halfway through the first segment. And so, if anyone has a heart out, please let me know. We'll let you off the hook whenever you need to go, and that's fine. But if you're along for the ride, it's kind of fun in our opinion. But real quick, I'd like to do some shout outs. We got Derek Iozio with Catch 22. Brian Romans is here. Apparently, Sam, he knows you. Do you know Brian Romans?
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
He's a good dude.
I've not met him personally, but we definitely run into the same people all the time, based in the Nashville area mostly. Tammy Schroeder, always in our house. John, am I going to say this right? Weisbrick? Is that right, Andrea? Two Drunk Dudes in a Gun Room podcast. I know that Jonathan has been. Were you on their podcast, Jonathan?
No, we were discussing a possible episode
Discussion.
coming up.
That's we have Bourbon Battle Buddies here with Jonathan, Eric Oligschlager. We already said that, and I'm probably destroying his name. Tim Newton of the Tim Newton Band out of Missouri. We already talked to Derek. Bobby Krutzinger, who is destroying in a great way his mission in Texas Strong. He's going to correct me here, but he's given away 130 plus RVs since the start of last January to homeless veterans across the country. And he's helped us actually gift a RV down in Florida through our network, through another system of conversations. And then we got Geraldine Arnold here, who shows up and shares amazing things all the time. So thank you for everyone who's showing up. And again, some people are dipping in, dipping out, and we love all those people that are supporting what we do with the People's Patriot Project. Sam Steadman, good to have you here, brother.
Yeah, good to be here, man.
I was stalking your Facebook page a little bit.
Oh, boy.
And there was a time where a boy turned into a man.
I guess that's one way to say it.
You looked like this young stud. Not that you're not a stud now, but
Sure.
the mustache came in, the hat came on, and we got the business.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Tell us what you're working on, brother.
So I currently work 4 jobs right now, which is kind of a lot to a random bystander or whatever. So myself and about 5 other Marine veterans. One's actually still active right now, but we started a nonprofit called Climbing Place. Very, very short term into this. We've only been doing it for like maybe less than a year for sure. Our bigger thing that we used to do was just, obviously it was just a bunch of Marine Corps vets. So we would celebrate the birthday together. And then as time went on, we started to randomly see it like organically grow to where we were trying to host them at like venues and stuff of that nature. And people from all over the place were just coming out to celebrate the birthday, but from a veteran standpoint, instead of being like active duty now. And, so it was kind of different seeing it with everybody just wearing casual attire or what have you. But as it grew, we figured we would start an actual nonprofit to actually base it off of, instead of just celebrating and trying to do something that was a bigger and better picture than that. So what our main mission is now is to build a community I'm from Chattanooga, Tennessee, so it's mostly just in this region, to pretty much get veterans out of their homes, meet with other veterans. It's mostly just based on networking, building a community, a group, to where if you are going through mental health struggles, whether it be suicide or maybe you're not thinking about suicide, but you're just going through some types of issues that civilians cannot relate to whatsoever. We give like you
life.
Exactly. And we give you that space to where you can come hang out, meet people. We've definitely had it to where, we've had some Marine Corps veterans who met people that they actually used to be in the same unit with or whatnot, and they never even knew that they lived in the same town. So it's very, very small, but like it's slowly growing. And, like the first time we had the birthday and celebrated it, there was like 50 people at mine and my best friend's house 2 years ago, and it wasn't even a nonprofit then. And then as we progressed, last year we held our event at the Medal of Honor Museum here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. About 150 people showed up. We gave every one of them challenge coins, shirts, stuff of that nature, and we had a great time. Now we're coming into it this year to where we're trying to have smaller events circled around that bigger event. So it's slowly growing, and we're kind of trying to figure out this whole nonprofit process and how you are actually able to get the cause to, be fulfilled and actually have some kind of positive growth from it instead of it just being a business. And definitely here to learn from successors such as ourselves. But yeah, that's one of the things. The other two things that I do obviously are music, and then myself and another gentleman own a smash burger pop-up, which obviously our goal in doing that is to no longer be like a pop-up or a food truck, to one day open a brick and mortar burger bar. So that's kind of some things that I got going on, and most of all of them are built around trying to build a community and have places for people to feel safe in, whether it be like struggling with any kind of mental health issues, and we're here for you, even through my music.
That's outstanding. And this is something that we did not plan, but
Sure.
We got Kentucky and Tennessee right next to each other. I mean, this would be a great opportunity for this network to grow closer in a sense. And you guys can read between the lines on that one. And
for sure. That's awesome.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing music?
So the music thing, I would say, so I started doing live music right around when COVID hit, which people are probably like, why would you do it then? Like, nobody's going to be out there in these venues and whatnot. But it, for me, was actually the best time because it wasn't something I was super comfortable with. As I was growing up in my life, like, people have told me who were close to me, like they've heard me sing in the car or something and tell me to shut up. So I would just assume that I'm not good at it. And so, I would go play out in some of these venues, and most of the places, they just had you secluded in a corner because they didn't want you close to people because of COVID. And then as time went on, I started getting more comfortable with it. So I would say it's probably been this will be my third full year doing live music. I've probably played guitar maybe like 4 or 5 years, but I also don't tell people like, yeah, I'm definitely a guitar player. Like, I'm mostly, I guess you could say, just a singer-songwriter, because I'm not super efficient at guitar, but I'm efficient enough to get the job done,
Don't minimize it, brother. Don't minimize it. I do want to compliment you on, I went through the majority of your catalog, and I really like how you put your videos together with it's actually the storytelling part of it. And that's kind of what we do here.
Sure.
And there may be within this group and on this channel right here, someone that might be doing interviews that will be related specifically to the actual storytelling of the music. And so we'll probably hear an update about that. So we've got, first of all, I want to do a shout out to Shannon Book. He's here. He will melt your face off with Deliberately Broken out of Texas. Great musician. And we're waiting for the countdown. He's got his video coming out, Dear Mom. Really excited about that. And hopefully if Shannon's still here, he'll give us the details on that. I don't memorize it, Shannon. I apologize. We can find it real quick too. But
I think it comes out May 7th.
May 7th. Okay.
Yes.
If you get a chance to hear that. And we also have Tammy Jo here. Again, we'll hear more about Tammy Jo here in a little bit. But amazing veteran musician as well. Just love the fact that we have so many people popping in tonight that are musicians and the boots on the ground organizations. And thank you, everyone that invests into what we do with this show and making sure the message gets out there for all of our veterans and first responders. I know that it's veteran heavy most of the time, but we do have some first responders coming on here soon. And the truth of the matter is, again, of sadly, 2 of the police officers that have died in the Minnesota space recently were former military members as well. Actually, the suicide one was also a veteran, and it breaks my heart to have these conversations. But roughly 60% of those that serve as first responders were veterans at one time as well. So thank you all who are doing your service, and let's make sure we're taking care of our brothers and sisters. Yeah, Eric, I'm sad that I wasn't able to come down to the Chado Foundation event this year, and it's awesome to hear that Mr. Shannon Book got over there to play for that event. So that's a great family and a great network down there. And me and Andrea got to go hang out with them last year. I always love this because Eric puts it out there it costs you money to see this guy dress up like this. But it's, again, raised for the Chado Foundation. And I just love what he's doing down there and the cause of what he's fighting for. And the fact that Andrea and myself got to sit on Chad's bench. And look at these guys hanging out. Little Shannon Book, Eric, Miss Andrea, and a not so hairy Mark. But Sam, I've got 3 songs lined up for you. Those 3 songs are Rooftop, Runaway, and Till I wrote it down. You put
that one on there also. Yeah.
Yep. Which one do you want to roll with, bro?
We can roll with Rooftop.
Is there a story behind it?
Yeah, so I know obviously one of the biggest things everybody here and outside of here talk about for veterans is suicide. But I mean, even when like people struggle with it in general all the time nowadays, just because I feel like the way the media portrays all the things that are happening in the world. And so that's kind of like my suicide song that is trying to be like suicide awareness, because I've struggled with, not being able to fit in or whatever the case is. When I was 20, my dad and my great grandmother both passed away 3 months apart from each other. And when that happened, I, didn't really talk to anybody per se. I didn't really know how to find an outlet for any of it. So I just found alcohol and then would throw raging parties from the money I inherited. And then I would just climb up on top of the roofs and contemplate jumping off. And sometimes I would actually try it. And, because of like some of the close friends who are now in those like veteran communities that I was talking about that we were building, who have been lifelong friends. And then because of God, I'm still here today and didn't make that decision. So yeah, that's kind of the root story behind that one.
All right. This is Sam Steadman with Rooftop.
Baby, drinking till I drown. I'm just sitting up here wondering when I'll cool down. There's a whole party going on downstairs. Most of them are sham. I rounded up the whole thing knowing that they're all damned. trench coat and hat. I'm just sitting up here way high, knowing I'm up to bat. All the ones that matter, all the ones that care, they're all out there searching for me, knowing that I'm not scared. I'm not scared of falling. I'm not scared to die. I know where I'm going. Hell, that's where sitting on a rooftop, contemplating life. I'm just sitting up here knowing my time ain't right. All the people out there preaching, judging day to day. I just hope I'm out there teaching all the right words to say. Hey, the right words to say. Just sitting on a rooftop, baby. No, it's not my time.
I appreciate the fact that you can put a truth out there, and it's a truth that I think a lot of our veterans contemplate. First responders contemplate as well, and that part of the continue to that narrative is the fact that you're still standing here having conversations.
Oh, for sure.
It's okay. It's okay to have the thoughts. It really is. I think you'd be a fool to say that the majority of people in life don't have the thought, don't have the ideology, the ponderance of, hey, I want to do this. But remember, there are people there pulling for you. Remember, there are people there that are willing to drop what they're doing to talk to you until what hour in the morning they need to. I'd rather have that conversation than to read an obit the next morning. And so make sure, and this might be the good time. All of us have one of these in our presence. Some of you are watching the show, listening to the show right now. We have constantly done a campaign called the WeP3 Wave. Each one of us are a drop, but all of us together create an ocean. And if you will reach out to a brother and sister, and we ask you to do it by a 6-pack, and just say, hey, just thinking of you, just thinking about you, want to know what's going down. Maybe you don't have time to talk right now, but I just want to say I was thinking about you. I promise you, it's not costing you a dime to do that. It's costing you 6 seconds times 6, 36 seconds. And it might just be that conversation that saves a life. It might just be. We get into the conversation. Some guests come on, they want to do their 22 push-ups. Some people get mad about 22 push-ups because they don't think it's an investment. I'm telling you right now, if you reach out to people and say, I'm thinking about you, I promise you that's going to put a second of doubt in that mind and in that thought to be around the next day. Who's your music influence, Sam?
I would say there's definitely some Sturgill Simpson, Johnny Cash kind of stuff in that. Like, I definitely enjoy Pink Floyd as well. And then even some throwback, like, 90s Christian music from like DC Talk and stuff of that nature as well.
Have you heard of Three Beards before?
Three Beards?
Yeah.
I have not.
A veteran group. I think you would really dig what they do.
Okay.
If you get a chance, check out Three Beards, and I'll remind you after this a little bit.
Sure.
There's a little bit of a eclectic binding, I'm going to call it there, and these guys are. They've spit it out, Stutter and Steve. They were on our show, I'm going to say about 6 months ago, and the next pictures we saw of them were standing in the Ukraine, maybe on or around some artillery-related machinery. I don't know, but they're out there doing their stuff too. So, excellent song, excellent message, and thank you for what you do.
Yeah, of course. I'll definitely check that out.
Jeremy, what are you guys working on right now? What's your big picture?
So the big picture for us, man, is to expand and create a chapter, at least one in every state, in all 50 states. And we've been asked by, all over the country to come and do that, but the infrastructure has to catch up, right? When we started this organization, we didn't really know how it was going to turn out or how it was going to blow up. We thought that we would just get, really the premise was an ideal and a napkin to get veterans together once a week and just do life together, right? And so apparently the way that we do that, it was a need, and so here we are. And so we're just trying to figure out now how we can maintain the integrity of our programming in this region, but also be able to expand to Texas and Georgia, Florida, and places like that that have a big veteran population and be able to serve as many vets as we can. We're always trying to reach as many people that we can, and a lot of the programming that we have, you can do remotely. And so we're just trying to create opportunities regardless of your geographical location. So that's kind of been a challenge, but it's a challenge that I'd rather have. I'd rather have exponential growth than to not have none at all and have to work through that. But that's our primary mission, man. We want Veterans Club Incorporated to be a household name around the country. And we want a Veterans Club logo with the state of Texas in it and the state of Tennessee and places like that. So that's kind of the primary focus right now, is just making sure we build that infrastructure to be able to do that.
Now, when I was researching and vetting you, in my head, we had an argument. You know what? You probably didn't know that it existed, but
yeah.
Are you a musician?
I am not, man, but there is apparently a Jeremy Harrell who is.
Is that what it is? I swore I saw you rapping.
Oh no, that definitely wasn't me. If I was going to do anything, it'd be country and folk, something like that. But and I do pretty good at karaoke, man. But I have this post-nasal drip issue, and so we work with the local radio station here, and I tell them, if it wasn't for the allergy issue, then nobody would know who Chris Stapleton was, right? But thank goodness, from his standpoint, I have this issue, and he doesn't have to worry about that. But no, all kidding aside, no, I don't rap at all. I mean, I have in private, but I wouldn't dare. Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I had you down as a musician right off the bat. I'm like, yeah, I'm sitting here. You look a lot alike this, so we'll have to do some research. But
there's a country artist who seems to be doing okay. I guess he's on Amazon Music and things like that has the same name. And then there's a gentleman who we kind of look alike, except in his last name it's an E instead of an A. Okay. And he does kind of like a radio show of his own. So who would have thought, man, that, you know, everywhere I go, when I say my last name, I have to spell it or pronounce it. And so I'm thinking nobody, there's not very many of us around, but apparently there's more than 3 of us who just happen to be kind of in the public eye in that way. So nope, I don't rap, man. I will if you ever really need me to, but I try not to do that.
The next show's we're gonna feature you rapping is what's gonna happen.
Yeah, you can get your song ready. Get it lined up.
You better have it ready because that's what's gonna happen.
I'm gonna call Sam so he can write the song for me, and I'll just rap it.
Outstanding. How far are you guys from Nashville?
So I'm 2.5 hours away. Not far at all. It's just
a
short drive down 65.
This last October, we did a little event called the WeP3 Nashville Takeover. We had 27 veteran musicians come into Nashville with us.
Wow.
I have to do this every time I talk about this because this is about the best I've ever looked, and I call it polishing the turd. But we worked with we had 6 veterans who were up for awards with the Josie Awards, and this year it was at the Grand Ole Opry. And I reached out to the Pasentinos who run the Josie Awards, and I said, hey, we're kind of a media outlet. Could we come down there and interview our musicians? We've gotten in trouble, not from the musicians, but from other people in the world when we say our musicians. We're not saying our musicians. We don't lay ownership. Sam, we won't own you in any way or time. We may call you our musician. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
I always explain it as these are our friends who are on our show, who we think highly of, who are veterans and or first responders and musicians, and we really like to have them close. So we just shorten that to our musicians. It's no ownership.
The really cool thing is organizations from across the country see the relationship that we've built with the musicians that have come into our network, and they then ask us to reach out to them to get them, because I'm sure, Jeremy, you do fundraisers and like to have music.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah,
so
for sure, man.
When you have 90 veteran musicians that you've worked with and have conversations with regularly, it becomes an easy ask. And we like to do the shock and awe when we bring a musician in and give them the 9s on everything. And that's what we did down in Nashville. 27 veterans, 6 venues, 5 nights. Was a hell of a time. We enjoyed it. This is a little bit of what we got to do.
I'm Mark Peterson with the People's Patriot Project.
And I'm Andrea Eichman with the People's Patriot Project.
And we are live here in Nashville at the Josie Awards at the Grand Ole Opry.
Tonight we'll be interviewing several of the nominees for Josie Awards.
Come be part of the shock and awe. Patriot Pride.
I told you, I got to polish the turd. I got to polish it. And getting to listen or having the first interview being with an Oak Ridge boy, Mr. Goldman, never hurts anything either. That was
and 2 of his sons, 2 of the boys. Yeah.
The whole Goldman family were there, and that was just absolutely outstanding. I do want to say this is something that we'd like to do, and we are 100% about promoting our musicians. If there is someone out there that has a little bit of time, we would like to have a person in our network. We've got the names, we've got the list, we've got the award ceremonies. We would like to have someone help us nominate all of our musicians, and I would like to have 100 veteran and first responder musicians in Nashville for an event like this. Now, we got another thing we're planning, but I think we could fill that whole red carpet up with veterans and first responders, and it would be an amazing display of what America is about. America. I love it.
Yeah, music and military go together, man. I think it's a beautiful combination. Music has healed many, man. It's a great outlet, and one of my best memories is those barracks musicians, man, that pull out the guitar on a Friday night and just play music. And man, those are really good memories. So I think that's a great opportunity. And to find 100, man, that's quite the task. But how cool would that be to have 100 of those folks in one place? That's
We got
really cool.
100, brother. They're out there.
Oh yeah,
here.
no, they're
We
out there
got
for
it.
sure. Yeah.
I think we've had 10 of them chime in during the show tonight. So,
Oh, nice.
and then Gabriel Wren, who was the amazing Trinity Productions, who actually did the filming of us when we were on the red carpet and got all those interviews as well. We would actually, I don't get to tell the Passantinos what we get to do or don't do, but I would like to move away from the red carpet and put we didn't get to see any of our veterans that night because there were so many people there. And that's the reason why we went there, was to support them. But Sam, what's your big project right now? What are you working on right now?
Well, let's see. As far as music goes, I am releasing a full-length, like 13-song album. Probably going to be on August 25th. I'm not really a fan of like birthdays, but that's my birthday, so it's probably going to be just one of those things that, you know, hopefully people will get attracted to listen to it more just because of that reason, from a marketing standpoint. But yeah, it's going to be called Living in Revelation. It's kind of like a post-apocalyptic country, punk folk album or whatever you have. But yeah, that's the next bigger project that is on my list for sure.
Well, let us know what's happening with it, and we'll make sure we're doing the promotions for it. And we also have WeP3 Radio, which is now, it's under construction right now because we're moving to a new, bigger, faster platform, and we're hoping to have that up in the next month. But everyone on WeP3 Radio is a veteran and first responder and Patriot player. You know, we can't not have Coffee Anderson on there singing Mr. Red, White, and Blue. You got to have that. But we have our veterans, and Jonathan, when it was up, would play it for his people down in Louisiana at his work sites, and they loved it. And it is clean. It is real. It's not all about fixing broken veterans, and no veterans in our world are broken, and not all veterans are broken. And we're not here to fix veterans. We're here to support and recalibrate. And again, you got Shannon Book with amazing ballads about letters to his mom and sitting on the bed, contemplating the decision, and just great songs. And we got Mr. Steadman as well. Runaway or Till I Fall in Love, or Find Love? Till I Find Love. What do you got going? Which one?
We can do Runaway. That's fine.
All right. Any lead into that?
So this one's kind of about how, you know, no matter what you're doing in life, if you're pressing forward towards some kind of like goal, you're always going to have people who might even be close to you who still are going to kind of like scoff or, you know, make fun in a sense that they don't believe you'll actually be able to accomplish whatever it is. Nowadays, I feel like you can do almost anything and you'll definitely have the support of some close people. But, you know, when I was growing up, also, like, way my relationship with my mother, for instance, wasn't the best as far as like some of the things that I've done in my life. She has definitely not been proud of. And so that's kind of like one of the things to where I was like running away from just those types of situations and problems, and didn't really understand that music was on the back burner this whole time. And it just seemed like an idea, kind of like being an NBA basketball player or an actor or something of that nature, that just sounds really cool to think of as a job, but it also seems like impossible or unreal. But in reality, if you just go out there and give it a try, you know, you'll find that some people will back you, and then you can actually do it. You know, as long as you put that first forward and just trying it out. And then who knows, by the end of it, you might not be onto something. So yeah, that's kind of what it's about.
All right. Before we play it, we still good on time for everyone?
Sure.
Everyone's good. Jeremy, you good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good for about 20 minutes, man, if that works. Yeah.
We'll get a run. We're getting a run.
All right.
This is Sam Steadman with Runaway.
Voices in my head, they tell me I'm better off dead. The pain of loneliness inside can only be healed with suicide. Run away, boy, run away to the great unknown. Run away, child, run away, and just go on home. Wishing they leave me the hell alone, instead of casting the first stone. Run away, boy, run away to the great unknown. Run away, child, run away, and just go on home. Won't you go on home, boy? They all want me to be the same, but that would make me go insane. So here I stand with this guitar, knowing one day I'll be a star. Run away, boy, run away far from here. Run away, boy, don't you ever shed a tear. Go and chase them dreams. Run away, boy, run away far from here. Run away, boy, don't you ever
That is Sam Steadman and Runaway.
That was very good. I like the laid back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Your music has a way of drawing out thought. Like,
no, yeah.
It's most of the time when there's some music you listen to and you're there and it draws out emotion. This actually contemplates the videos, contemplate, where do I sit with this? Where is this? Is this? I get it. I feel it. I want to experience, and you do a really good job with it. I like it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, you can hear the authenticity in your music.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like you're not just somebody wrote a song for you, you're singing it because you can sing. Like you're telling a story, and you're allowing everybody to feel the highs and lows throughout the song, man. So it was good. I appreciate you sharing that.
Hey, I appreciate y'all for sure.
We posted Mr. Steadman's Spotify account just so you can link into him and hear his music. And again, I will update our YouTube channel and make sure that all the music is also on there, and we're subscribed to you as well. I am currently working on. Are you on Pandora by chance?
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah. I'm working on a Pandora channel right now, again, where you can just click the WeP3 channel and hear all of the veteran and first responder music that's out there. Not everyone uses Pandora anymore. Spotify is kind of the go-to place, and we do have WeP3 Radio on Spotify as well. We are actually trying to create a Reverb Nation channel as well. Just time and get it all set up and get it all put in place. Mr. Harrell, what's next? What's next for Veterans Club? How are we going to shock and awe the world with Veterans Club?
Man, we're just going to continue to get in front of vets and really ask them what they need and create things that give them what they need versus trying to do the 30,000 foot view approach. Like you said in the beginning, just having more conversations. And what I always tell vets who join our organization is, and first responders now, we started officially serving first responders in 2021, but we just say, hey, this is your club. You know what I mean? I mean, I started it, but it isn't mine. It belongs to each and every one who signed the dotted line, right, and swore to defend our Constitution. And so you guys can make it what you want to make it. I just want it to serve you in a way where you feel like you have community, you feel like you have people who understand you, care about you, and that want to do life together. And so a lot of what we do really is based off feedback that we get from vets. I mean, we do incorporate, we make sure it's legal, first of all, right? And then we make sure it's ethical. But outside of that, we want this to be their organization. And for anyone out there listening right now, who, whether you live in Kentucky or not, doesn't matter. We were just in Wyoming a couple of weeks ago. So this is your organization. Help us make it the best we can for you. And there's no egos as far as our administration and how we run it. It's not about me. It's not about anybody that clocks in at Veterans Club. It's about those who need support, those who have served this country or served the communities they're currently in, man. So what comes next is yet to be seen. But what I know for sure is whatever it's going to be will be effective. And it will be it will touch and reach the masses, and that's all we can really hope for.
It's touching, it's exciting. It is, and again, I don't want to make this about WeP3 because I want to make sure Veterans Club gets their exposure tonight. But it's Andrea may tell you it sounds like you're talking to Mark Peterson with the same vision, and it doesn't mean that we can't work together. And that's the piece that we have driven very hard in that. I know a lot of guys want to have one in every single state. I would love to have one in every single state. But you know what? If we are working together, we can definitely say right now for sure there's one in Kentucky and there's one for sure in Minnesota. It doesn't have to fall under the same branding. And I know there's some guys out there and gals that don't want to work and play nice together. And I get it. But that's not us. Clearly, we were inviting every organization to come share their mission on our show. So that's not us. And there's a value. We find the value in now our tackle box is another lure deep, and we'll catch another fish that we weren't focusing on at another time. And so
I'm glad you said that, Mark, because you're right. Unfortunately, in the nonprofit realm, specifically in the veteran space, there seems to be a lot of competition and things like that. Man, I don't see any of this work as a competitive sport. You know, we collaborate with over 34 organizations across the country. Here's what I know is that I don't know everything, right? And how boring would it be? You know what I'm saying? So I like people like you all who have a heart to serve to come alongside, and we can together create something much bigger than any one person could ever do. So I'm all about, collaborating, man. I'm all about like sharing the message of your organization and doing things together, having events together. So yeah, I think people cheat. Like when people don't do that, I think it cheats the veterans. I think it cheats the first responders and the people we serve because, we learn very quickly in boot camp that being an individual doesn't pay off, right? That we must become a team. And once we started becoming a team, we started accomplishing some really cool shit. And I think, excuse my language, and I think that's exactly what we can do here together. And anytime anybody wants to partner, I'm all about it because here's the deal. Mark, you're going to bring something to the table. Sam will bring something to the table. Jonathan, Andrea, that's not my wheelhouse, man. And that's what's beautiful and vice versa. Can you imagine just having wraparound services for vets and first responders?
That's about as spiritual as I get right there, but amen. Thank you. Here's the deal. And again, I'm making an assumption here, and I apologize because you're not coming in, but I might be hurting some people's feelings when I said we got two, but I'm just talking about what we got on page here because actually Jonathan's down in Louisiana. He's part of it with Bourbon Battle Buddies. I'm assuming our GA guy is maybe Adam Jones with Feed the Heroes Foundation. That's an assumption.
That's Adam Jones. Yep, nope, it's him.
Love Adam Jones. Love what you guys are doing down there. Derek Iozio with Catch 22. This is like you gave a number, and we have for 3 years have been bringing another organization on every week, and it's building. And again, it's not something where we need to be the tip of the spear. Right. Actually, we're going to be this gigantic wave, this freaking mid-country tsunami, if you can. That's going to shock and awe and set this stuff down. Brothers and sisters, there are no excuses. I'm sorry. The excuses between your ears right now. There are enough organizations here to cover everyone that is in need. I promise you. Have a conversation. I'm getting aggressive. I apologize.
Are you yelling? You're yelling at us. Peterson,
I call that passion. But yeah.
Yes.
Consider. I mean, you said it, and normally we wait till after the show to have a collaboration talk. But consider this a partnership. I will say that, Jeremy.
Appreciate that. Same here, man. 100%. And whoever was from Georgia, yeah.
What's that?
And whoever,
you need
Adam Jones.
Yeah. Let's connect with them too, man. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. And if you want to contact anyone that's been on here tonight, we don't hide numbers. We don't hide network. We don't hide nothing. I have this. I got chill bumps now. Here we go. Andrew, you'll make fun of me about chill bumps, but
you're from a different world.
Can you imagine all of us in one spot at one time in one celebration? And yes. There's one in planning. There's one in planning right now. All of us can be there in one space. And I'll tell you right now, Michael Madsen is helping us with Foxhole Radio Network, is the one helping us put together the radio station. I am looking at putting on an event in Nashville. I wanted to do it 2023. It may have to be a year later, where we sell out Nissan Stadium. That's 70,000 people on an event with musicians that are there to save lives, and the networks of organizations come into one place and feel that thing of people that just want to hear a positive message that is going to move us forward instead of the nonsense coming from both the far right and far left. I'm sorry, there's my political thing right there. I want to bond the gigantic, enormous middle, because the right wing and the left wing are all part of the same big ass bird in the middle. Okay. So, and Jeremy, don't worry. I got one of these. So when you swore, I just do this and it fixes everything. There, it's all done. All fixed. So,
Good.
Sam, what's next for you? You already say you got a release coming out. We want to know when that is. We want to get you on WeP3 Radio. Jonathan will talk about his mission here in a second. What's the next big thing for Sam Steadman?
Yeah, so I mean that album release will be happening August 25th. I'll have 3 singles that'll release before that. The dates, I don't have those solidified for the singles yet, but they will be coming up. So I mean, if anybody just wants to follow on Instagram at __AmSam, you'll be able to see all that stuff that is coming through the pipeline. With Climb in Place, we are trying in hopes as it grows and builds. The bigger picture is to partner up with local veteran businesses to where, the people can come to our community or network, and we can recommend those other businesses to those people that are, being surrounded by us, to where it's like, oh, well, you need something done to your house, you can go talk to Patriot Construction or whatever the case is. Or if you're going through some mental health issues, obviously you can come talk to us. But we have a good friend who in the future might be moving to Chattanooga, who used to work for the VA as a counselor / therapist, and he's seen how their practices have worked and they don't. And so he himself and his partner eventually might actually move here to try to help with that type of issue as well, and it'd be another asset to the whole community. So that's where that's going in the long run. Hopefully the Smash Burger pop-up becomes a brick and mortar and we open up that, but those are all the bigger things going on currently in my life right now that I hope to bring to pass.
That's exciting. Jeremy's got to take off. He's got dad duty, which we totally respect, and we thank you for the time.
Absolutely.
It's never even an issue here, brother. You're always welcome here, and I
appreciate it.
Foresee many conversations in the near future. So thank you.
Yeah, I was going to say, man, thank you all for having me. It's so good to meet you all virtually. And Sam, great music, man. I wish the best of luck for you and all those endeavors. Let's stay in touch, and let's continue this collaboration conversation at a later date, man. But I appreciate what you all do each and every day. I appreciate you having this platform, and for everybody listening, thank you all for taking time out of your day to hear us. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Patriot pride, brother. Patriot pride.
All right, you have a good one.
Yeah, great meeting you,
man. Till I Find Love. That's the last song we got, brother.
That sounds good. A little side note on that. That's probably like, everybody out here probably writes cliche, broken heart love story songs, and that one just happened to be mine. So nothing other than a decent breakup song, I guess. But it was, when I was going through the songwriting process of trying to figure out how to even write songs in general, I wasn't really sure what to write other than picking up a guitar and just putting down on paper and through chords what was going through my mind that day. And this just happened to be what came out.
This is Sam Steadman with Till I Fall in Love.
somehow. But I'll never know why. Maybe it's 'cause I'm strange. Maybe it's 'cause I'm dangerous. But either way, I'll never know. Either way, I'll never know. Till I find love, love, love. Crazy, beautiful, stupid love. Till I find that sweet love. Till I find love, love, love. Crazy, beautiful, stupid love. Till I find that sweet love. I see these people, they're chasing their dreams. So I have an eye. I think about you and nothing else matters as these days roll on by. Still I'll never know why. Yeah, either way I'll never know. Till I find love, love, love. Crazy, beautiful, stupid love. Till I find that sweet love. Till I find love, love, love. Crazy, beautiful, stupid love. Till I find that sweet love. Either way, I'll never know. Till I find love. Put my heart deep down in the grave, the one I thought that would have stayed. I could please the whole world, but never please her, and I'll never know why. Yeah, either way, I'll never know. Till I find love, love, love. Crazy, beautiful, stupid love. Till I find that sweet love. Till I find love, love, love. Crazy, beautiful, stupid love. Till I find that sweet love. But one day it'll find me. Till I find love. Till I find love. Ooh, till I find love. Till I find love.
I might take him. This is Mr. Steadman, Sam Steadman with Till I Find Love. I'm going to take some liberties here. Love is not cool with veterans and first responders.
For sure.
It is. Don't get soft on me. Don't get mushy with me. But I want to tell you, it feels good. And when you find that space and realize that it's those relationships that you had, and you don't have to call it love. You can call it camaraderie. You can call it battle buddies. You can call it I sat in a battle hole or foxhole with people that know things about me that no other person on earth knows about, because you got close and you built a relationship and that's not a bad thing. And I do think that is a piece that veterans and first responders struggle with when you're not in that space that is full of chaos, trauma. It's the intro to our podcast. It's the chaos in the head, all this stuff going at once. But I trust that person sitting next to me that they got my back and I have their back. That's love. That's I don't know if we can change it. We'll do some research. We'll change it into something else. But sometime, and here's the truth, and my truth, you need to look in the mirror and realize if you can't find that love and you're not doing it for you, then lean on us, lean on lean on your brothers and sisters, and realize you foxtrot matter, man. That's the truth.
Oh, for sure.
You called it a love song, made it a mushy thing, not really, but I'm making it into a campaign to care about brothers and sisters. You got to find love.
Which that's one thing that I've always thought that's like kind of cool about music is that, you know, the writer can obviously write it for whatever particular reason that they're writing it for and use it as an outlet and therapy and all that good stuff. But when people consume it and listen to it, you know, they can interpret it in whatever way they want to as well, and it can impact them in some other kind of bigger picture that the person that wrote it didn't even know could happen.
I find it extremely fitting for the conversations we had tonight. I find it extremely fitting for that. And
I let's see. I had this thought while the song was playing, right? And love doesn't have to be about finding the love of your life or anything like that, right? For a musician, it might be love of music or whatever. It's finding something that you can love, that you can pour your heart into, that's not destructive.
Exactly.
We could call it clip oil or something like that because it touches everything and sticks on everything, and you like the smell of it, and you occasionally get a taste of it, and it whatever. I just being weird. You're a blessing, brother, Sam Steadman. You're a blessing.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
I'm glad we finally got to make this happen. This is fitting, and I love the conversation that happened tonight. Throw everyone on the spot real quick. Miss Eichmann, you got anything in closing?
Yep, I do. I want to thanks, Sam. Thank you for being on tonight. It was I reached out cold and sent messages. I'm like, hey, I'm Andrea. I'm with People's, so sorry about those interruptions.
Oh no, you're fine.
Then I probably friended you because then the creepy part was over. So then I can send. So that's awesome because then I can keep following. I'll know right where you are. But thank you for sharing tonight.
Of course.
And then John Weisbrick, I don't know if you're still out there, but this is a dude from my elementary school. And he did his military gig. And so that was a nice call out. I've talked to him before, and thanks for checking in, John. I do also have to share, we are like 5 weeks away from May 27th, and that is our event in Capel, the suburb of Dallas, and we'll be at the Sound. Look at that. There it is. We'll be at the Sound. At Cypress. It's on, it's on Cypress Boulevard, but that's not the address. The address is Olympus. It's an intersection. We have got 6 acts. We've got Johnny Cole Murdoch. We've got Old 81 Band, the George Dooley Band, Tammy Jo Dabbs, and Holly Ann. And Mr. Chad Hutto will not only be performing, but he will be our MC for the day. This goes from 2 to 10. You need to bring a chair. You need to bring a cooler and bring some friends. And I suppose probably sunscreen. It's, May in Texas. So come on down. Here you go. There's where you're going to order your tickets. 1 for $25, 2 for $35. Where else can you spend less than $18 and watch music for 8 hours? Some amazing veteran and first responder musicians and bands. and MC, who Chad will also be. He's a comedian, so he'll be doing his portion of that as well. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. I'm watching ticket prices to fly down there kind of go down every day. So one of these days, I will not spend as much as I initially would have to get there. But I'm super excited, guys. Get your tickets. Let me know. You got questions? Let me know. We've had people want to join in as artists, and that is super reassuring because as we do this, we just keep building and building, and more events, bigger events. We'll just keep using the prototype and roll with it across the country. So, Holly Ann, thank you for all your help and support. Tammy Joe, same. We'll keep rolling. We'll keep you updated, but that's what we got going on.
Awesome. Jonathan, anything in closing, brother?
Go back. That was something that Jeremy had said early on in the show, and I think Sam had kind of alluded to it as well. Nobody gets a vet like another vet. So there's a lot of organizations out there that are putting themselves in the position to be of service. This is your one-stop shop to a whole bunch of them right here. So reach out if you need something anywhere. We can connect you with people all over the place. We like to have boots on the ground. So let us know if you got any issues, and we'll see if we can make the connections and make something happen for you. Something else that was said earlier that I really liked, and is, don't overwhelm yourself with getting to the end game, I guess. All you really got to do is one more thing than you did yesterday, and it's going to be a success. So just keep your head high and push. One step forward is progress.
You can hear Jonathan Mornley. That I don't even know. Thanks.
Let's do it.
You can hear Jonathan daily in the mornings on Bourbon Battle Buddies with his infinite wisdom and thought, and it's reassuring. We do have the new WeP3 Buzz that's out there. He's posting to that as well. Encouraging conversation, encouraging and building, and just it's too easy to find the negative, man. It's too easy to find that stuff. So let's continue to lift each other up with the positive. And we'll do this. Sam, you got anything in closing, brother?
If people are interested in following me, I guess just follow me on Instagram. It's at @__amsam. And also, like everybody said here, if you're ever feeling alone, know that you're not. Definitely call a friend up, reach out to any of these organizations here for help. And don't do something that your other people around you will regret that you did. Because there's definitely a better life to live out there. I've definitely been through the ringer as far as experiences with failing in certain things, but as long as you keep pushing forward every single day, there's definitely a light at the end of the tunnel. So that's all I got. I'm honored and greatly appreciative to be here, and I appreciate y'all having me on.
I'm on your Instagram now, and we did put the post on here, but I see you got a Hurt, Johnny Cash Hurt cover. I always get excited when Simple Man and Hurt are my two songs I like hearing. So that's
a good one.
I'll definitely check into that. We have been blessed. I'm going to say I get to thank Ozzy Ramus and Adam Bird with Heroes Media Group. They are helping and creating an opportunity for the People's Patriot Project to be boots on the ground in National Harbor on May 12th at the American Veterans Ball. Sadly, it is Mother's Day weekend, and not the entire team gets to go and do this, and that's kind of a heartbreaker. It is going to be an amazing. Dave Bray will be the music, and it's just going to be hopefully a great opportunity. Adam Bird was doing his little update this week, and he said something about shenanigans in my name. I just want him to know that there are no shenanigans ever happening when Mark Peterson is around. I want to make that clear. It is always something is what it is. Hopefully there's no rain and dog leashes and we don't have to drive down any roads. So,
no, because I have a couple of them. You'll have to come get those, take them with you.
So again, we wish the Chattel Foundation, we wish them blessings in their continued fundraising down in Texas. We know that Bobby Withrow with Texas Fallen is making some transitions in his life. Go, brother. If you need anything, let us know. Bobby Krutzinger's constantly giving away his RVs and making that mission run. The list goes on and on. Adam Jones with Feed the Heroes Foundation was on here tonight, and we are always with you, brother. Excited when we get to spend time in your network. It's great that we're building stuff with Michael Madsen and the Foxhole Radio Network, and that forces us to do events in that space, and it's going to keep growing, brothers and sisters, and you gotta be at the events. And the reason why, because we get to touch you. We get to touch you in a bunch of ways. We get to touch your heart, we get to touch your brain, and we get to have conversations that make you understand there is a lot of us. If you ever look at our logo, it's the digital black camo with the ugly green that pokes out of it. You can't hide us. We're done being hidden. We're here, and we are here to help those that need it. We are the beacon of hope and opportunity. Come check us out. Be the shock and awe, and make sure that we're saving our brothers and sisters. With that, we'll see you tomorrow at 4:30 for our WeP3 debrief. And next week, our guests are. I got it.
Oh my gosh, I had it right here. Do you have it?
Well, I'm looking at it, but my brain doesn't tell me which one it is. Jonathan Burton, and it's a long name band, the Schaefer Mueller Music. And so that's who's on next week. We're going to do a better job of putting up a monthly schedule of what we got, and then we'll make sure that everyone knows what's going on all the time. Thank you for everyone that was on tonight. Thank you for the panel that was here. Sam, thank you for taking time out of your day. And if you have time, Sam, after if you got to go, you got to go. If not, we'll do a little collab here in our own private time. So with that said, Patriot Pride, we'll see you when the smoke clears.
Patriot Pride.